Welcome. And for more on this now, we're going to bring in our next guest, Chris Voss, retired FBI special agent, hostage negotiator, and terrorism expert. He also is the managing director of Insight Security. We've talked quite a few times over the last few days, Chris. It's great to have you back on the program.
Thank you, Jenna.
Let's pick up off of what Catherine was just reporting on there, which is a debate about whether or not the suspect should be read his Miranda rights. Moving past some of the politics of it, because it seems to be getting a little political, as a former member of the FBI, how does whether or not the suspect is read his Miranda rights influence or impact your investigation?
Well, it really becomes irrelevant. I mean, good rapport-based interviewers, interrogators, who are the ones that are the most effective. I mean, the FBI doesn't do that because we're nice. We do that because it worked. And rapport-based interviewers, Miranda, they can read that and then continue the relationship. It's not a big problem. It's not a major obstacle. It's almost irrelevant. Really? Because we're hearing that it's such a major issue about whether we get to the bottom of this investigation. So what should we consider as we continue to hear this debate ongoing over the next several days? It really doesn't make that much difference to the interviewers, and especially the particular group of profilers that they've developed at Quantico, at the FBI Academy, CERG. This is not terribly relevant. They can sit down with these people, they can interview them, they look for behavioral cues, they look for a way to establish a relationship so that the individual starts to talk. That's it. They do it because it's effective. And you can even interview people occasionally with a lawyer in the room. And the lawyer, if the individual starts to be deceptive in the interview, will start to tell the person to tell the truth. And so Miranda, and it's much ado about nothing, in my view. It's interesting. It's nice to have your perspective after more than 20 years with the FBI. I want to ask you a little bit about this other report we're hearing. And at the risk of Monday morning quarterbacking, which we don't want to do right now, Chris, but we want to know how to do things better the next time around. Our viewers are hearing that the FBI was flagged to this individual, the older brother, even questioned him and cleared him as being any sort of real threat to the country. At least that's what we're hearing right now. How would that happen, that someone would be cleared and then turn into a terrorist a little bit more than a year later? Well, they would have followed the procedures that they were required to follow by the investigation. And while it's very easy to get into these investigations, these national security investigations, there's a tremendous amount of oversight and a tremendous amount of caution that's developed in favor of the individual's rights. So it would be very easy for them to have interviewed him and cleared him. Additionally, you don't know how much more his personality or his tendency towards violence developed after the interview, and he may not have been exhibiting any of the signs. Would he be under any sort of surveillance, though, as someone that has been questioned in the past, just to check in on him, if you will, and see what happens over the next few years past that point? Well, it would have depended upon the nature of the administrative rules of the investigation, and there were times when those sorts of investigations were allowed, and they've been curtailed. So I think we're going to find that the Bureau probably followed their procedures, and unfortunately the procedures don't cover each and every instance. And there might be some questions about that, and again, what we can do better in the future. Chris, thank you again. Always appreciate your expertise. Jenna, my pleasure.
So